I was going to ask, how do you perceive the recent peace deal between Governor Fubara and the Minister Wike? Do you see it as a step toward, or say step forward, better yet, or a compromise of political integrity on the part of Fubara?
Well, for me, whatever you might call it as a person, the most important thing is that we have realized that these two political giants have found out a common ground to reach a truce. And they have all established a common fact. The common fact we established at this point is the position for the people of Rivers State. If they are fighting for their personal interest, the people suffers. So if they decide to reconcile to the benefits of the people, I think it's something we must be grateful for. And we can also really conclude by saying that this peace will be holistic without acknowledging the input of Mr. President. He has always been concerned about the state and well-being of Rivers people. This is like the fourth time he's intervening on the Rivers crisis. And from looking at the situation on ground, a few days ago we saw Mr. President in company of the FCT minister and the suspended governor, and they made a speech after then. We have also watched keenly their activities, and we have seen that healing has beginning to take place. We have seen them in different forums, unlike before. Unlike the former peace accord that was being reached in Asoro, where we did not see any proper reconciliation. We are seeing true and proper reconciliation in this process right now, and it's very important, instead of us to preach war or to preach sentiment, as young people, which are most beneficiary of this process, should seize this moment to, take a pat at the back and encourage the peace process that has started. This is not a time to begin to throw tantrums at anybody. This is not a time to begin to see any person as an enemy. Any person that is seeing others as enemies, an enemy to Rivers State. And we have decided to be patriotic and give peace a chance. The peace we are talking about here, who are the greatest beneficiaries? The youth. And we are to encourage it at all levels. We have called on all stakeholders, ranging from women, clergymen, traditional rulers, opinion leaders, civil society organizations, at all levels to give peace a chance. And we have also seen the realistic approach from Mr. Governor Siminalayi Fubara. He addressed his supporters yesterday, and to be very frank, we have not seen him in that disposition ever since this crisis started. And it looks well on us as Rivers people that he has beginning to heal to total reconciliation and heal to peace. I also see the action of Mr. Minister, the FCT Minister, his disposition in this process actually connotes strength. Strength in the sense that he has also discovered that peace is the only way. Despite that he was winning, he has also seen that coming together as a family will do Rivers State lots more good than just winning and taking home everything. So I want to sincerely thank Mr. President for his peace accord. And also want to, let's not also leave the sole administrator of Rivers State out of this peace accord. Because if the sole administrator of Rivers State did not play his own role as sent by Mr. President when he was declared the administrator of Rivers State, he might have sponsored more crisis in the state, but he did not do that like politicians. He remained a technocrat as a peace ambassador of his country and has also sponsored peace through reconciliatory moves within the state. His action so far has also encouraged the peace process. I also want to thank the youth.
Mr. Bani,
dispensation.
Unfortunately, I wish I could give you a microphone, but this is a television program, so we're going to keep it to be very constructive as we can, right? And let me ask about a very core point of the problem here that had caused the conflict that we saw in the state and the dissolving of the House of Assembly plus the governor's suspension, and that is the dual factions that we saw in the House, the Amawale-led faction and the Martins Okojombo's led faction. What do you think would be the resolution constitutionally, as we're talking about reconciliation? What would be the resolution for the State House?
I think everybody is going to adhere to rule of law. Within the grand norm, the Constitution is the only arbiter where everybody can find solace, live in unity and in progress. we are falling back to constitutionalizing properly, where the House of Assembly will come back. Like Mr. Governor have said, all those loyal to me, including the Assembly members, should maintain the rightful disposition of peace. That is to say, what we expect going forward is that the House of Assembly is going to come back in full session. Those people who are still, legitimate members of the House of Assembly, for me, everybody should be given an opportunity. Even any person who felt that I've resigned one way or the other that was not constitutional should also come back to the House. And everybody should join hands together to chart a way forward in the country, to chart a way forward in Rivers State so that we can move progressively. We are backward, and I believe if we adhere to rule of law, if we adhere to the constitutional provisions that binds governance, all of these issues will be laid to rest. The issue of faction and whatever in the House of Assembly, by the resolution in the presidency, the ASUROC, all of these things have been addressed. The leadership of the House of Assembly was in the meeting. The governor was in the meeting, and the critical stakeholders of the state were also in the meeting. So
a meeting doesn't mean constitution.
Holistically.
Mr. Bani, holistically is a good word to describe it, right? Because, a meeting does not necessarily mean a constitution, right? Because you can have a meeting, but there are still constitutional demands that are laws that abide the House of Assembly, but most importantly, the laws of the land, as well as the federal laws as well. So as much as they're sitting in these meetings and having those conversations, does their law align with it? Does the Constitution align with it? That's where the bone of contention is, and that's where the question lies. But very quickly, as we're running out of time, I also want to talk about what the governor said. Now, he said that, there were some concessions that had to be made, for the sake of peace to reign. Paraphrasing him here, can you preempt what those concessions might be? And do you think that it would be for his political career in the long run, if it would be good for his political career in the long run? Because at the end of the day, as much as you are a servant of the people, there is still ambition.
Okay, to be very realistic, I think I am not a spokesman for the governor, but I must tell you, the steps he has taken so far is in line with the peace accord process and reached. The peace accord reached at the instance of Rivers people. The most important thing here is to, think about the people. He was elected to serve Nigerians in Rivers State, to govern Rivers State. And if he has seen that, giving peace a chance, no matter the condition in the peace accord. Like he said, oftentimes he has said it, that no price is too much for peace. No price is too much to be paid for the peace of Rivers people. And I want to sincerely appreciate the choice of that word. And not only that, like we have seen in the couple of hours after the meeting, which is still is in consonance with the Constitution, and there is nothing wrong with it, he has shown that everything is well. Going forward, we are politicians. The best, as politicians rather, for them that are politicians, the best thing they can do is to realign their interests. And I feel Nyesom Fubara will not just throw his tongue into the peace accord if there is nothing for him. He is a politician and he knows how best to go about it. So, meanwhile, we are not even there. When Nyesom Fubara secured the interest from his leader, Chief Vice Nyesom Wike, to become the governor of Rivers State, he knows how best to approach his team, the big family, to achieve whatever he needs to achieve politically. So I feel there is a room large enough to accommodate all interests of all Rivers people. Like he has also said, you see, it's all about sacrifice. It's very heavy, but it's worth it. There is no need becoming a governor without peace in your state, in your political family, and the rest abounds. So I strongly believe, there is something in for the governor of Rivers State,
all right.
Governor Siminalayi Fubara,
All right.
If there is none, I don't think he would have accepted it.
All right. Well,
The president would not just
right.
take everything from him and say, "Oh, this is peace."
Well, okay. Well, let's only time will tell whether or not there's going to be. Only time will tell whether or not there's going to be anything there for him. But Mr. Bani, I must say thank you for taking out the time to join us. Mr. Bani, they're giving us a bit of insight following the reconciliation between the former governor of Rivers State and the MCT minister Nyesom Wike and the governor of Rivers, which is facilitated by President Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.